Lamar.
He's not in there.
Chatted about Lamar not being at OTAs.
Kenny Moore.
After Chris Sims said something. Relax.
He's also a South Florida guy.
Okay, all right.
That's the only reason I said that.
All right. That's why like the Kyler thing is interesting because Kyler probably lives in Phoenix full time. That city is a place where people go live and spend their off season. So if he's spending his off season there and he's choosing not to go to the building, interesting. Is it worthy of a convo? I don't know. Lamar said, listen, these are voluntary, okay? There's probably other quarterbacks not going to these voluntary. I'll go to them whenever not on your schedule though, basically. Lamar Jackson continues to be one of the best Twitter follows on all of Twitter. Fucking love that he did not quit Twitter the other day whenever somebody was taking his words out of context or whatever. He basically said, I'll go when I want to go. Okay, it's voluntary. I'm putting my work in. Shout to my coach in the next tweet. Lamar said to Chris Sims, after Chris Sims basically said that, Lamar at one point said he wanted to be Tom Brady. Brady wouldn't be missing OTAs year after year or whatever. And we all know that is categorically false, actually, because Tom Brady and Bruce Arians actually got into a public spout last offseason about Tom Brady doing his own workouts in the offseason instead of the OTAs. And the vets that were at the Tom Brady OTAs that were happening in the same city, just not at the building, were being called out by Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians was saying, some of those fucking guys think they're on a team. Huh? Some of those guys might not make the team. They want to come back to these OTAs. So categorically false in all of them. I guess at the beginning of Tom's career, he was at every single one, but it's become very common practice for him to be posting videos online of his training happening elsewhere than the facility. It's voluntary. COVID, I think, has changed a lot of people's thoughts and views on it, too, with the way the schedule is. And do you actually need to be there if the offense remains the same, the pieces remain the same? Back in the day, it used to be everybody kind of has to go, and if you don't go, you'll get shamed by the media, like Chris Sims is doing right now to Lamar. Nowadays, it's much more like, his body guru who's only focusing on him and is probably better than being there with the entire team, especially if he knows everybody and knows the offense. He says Lamar wants to be Lamar, Chris, not Tom Brady. This part of OTAs is voluntary, my guy. I will be there, just not on your watch. It's probably other QBs not attending voluntary OTAs either, but since it's Lamar, it's a huge deal. Find something else to talk about, dude. Fucking proper burial of Chris Sims from Lamar speaking in third person on his Twitter. There's a lot of quarterbacks not at OTAs right now. Yep. It's becoming common practice. They work out together. They work out with their friends. Then they show up at the mandatory one and keep it moving. As long as the product in the fall doesn't suffer, nobody's going to give a single fuck either.
Well, and I feel like the voluntary OTAs specifically for the Ravens are like, okay, Lamar is our offense. We are going to teach you exactly what you need to do for Lamar to be successful. It's not like they're putting in a whole new system that Lamar has to learn. Like, he is the system. Which
I guess would go into Chris Sims' conversation. Like, if everything's shaped around you, how are these people supposed to learn without you? But is Lamar Jackson going 150%? No. Because that's what it becomes whenever the season is happening. Lamar kicks it into another gear out of nowhere and makes a decision that who knows if he had planned for. We talked to Yonda, right? Yeah. Yonda was like, well, Lamar just makes, like, however I block a guy, Lamar's going to make it right in that whole thing. So Lamar being the best athlete and the best him he could possibly be makes the Ravens even better. That's why he's training down there in Miami with his coach, he said.
Yeah, and if they didn't have that backup, and I forget his name for some reason, Brett Huntley maybe? I don't think that's the right one. But the guy, Tyler Huntley, who came in, who was a stud, like he's not
I can't believe he didn't get traded.
Yeah.
He was,
honestly, right? In the season we were talking about this guy. Hey, people are going to fucking want this dude on their squad. Then it came to the quarterback carousel that was happening, and his name wasn't mentioned once. Maybe the Ravens just said, we ain't trade him. Everybody
good guy to hold on to when your franchise quarterback won't sign a long-term deal.
There has to be a thought that he could be leaving Baltimore. Has to be.
And because of all the success Huntley had.
To your defense, also, Brett Hundley is also with the Ravens.
Okay.
Oh, well. Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, Brett Hundley, and Lamar Jackson. All Baltimore Ravens right now?
Yeah.
Lamar's like, you got enough.
Yeah, what do you mean? They got
Bring a couple other arms.
I would love to take a shot at the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, but you can't do it here. I mean, like,
why? Why can't you do it personally? You're like you're like Foxy apologizing.
Well, because I got no problem with Lamar not being there. I mean, they didn't change offensive coordinators. He's been there forever. If he's working out in Miami, like if it was a new offensive coordinator, be there, like because you got to learn stuff, or if you're new to a team, be there or whatever. But in this situation,
I'll take a shot. He's got a new center. Lost his most talented wide receiver. He's got a lot of young receivers out there, guys he hasn't played with really before.
Frankie Chris Sims.
Guy brings up a good point.
Yeah, I mean, he does. You don't think he's probably working out with the new young receivers
All I know
down
is
there in
Mitch
Miami.
Trubisky's at camp.
Hell yeah.
Kenny Pickett's
Hell
at camp. Cut Mason Rudolph. He doesn't need to be at camp.
Well,
Can't agree with that guy.
Kenny Pickett actually, like, I think has to be there. Okay, Mitchell, like, actually has to be there. I don't think. That'd be awesome if he didn't.
Rookie.
Voluntary, right? Yeah, okay. I'll see a mandatory one. That'd be amazing if a rookie did that. I think that'd be great. I think the Bosa's held out a little bit to get the guaranteed money up there. I'm not sure if Kenny Pickett's doing any of that. Trubisky's going there because Kenny Pickett was drafted 20th, so he has to be there. Vastly different situation than Lamar Jackson, who's a previous MVP. Follow up. If I was from Miami, okay, I think it'd be very difficult to travel to a lot of these cities in the offseason for fucking meaningless workouts that I'm just walking through offenses that I already know at a very basic level because they have to teach the people that are brand new to the team and rookies who haven't played in the NFL yet what each play is. Okay, so you're going to line up here and they're walking with baseball hats on or no hats with beanies on their head. Beanies on their head, okay? Red beanies at tight end, yellow beanies in X or H. And guys are just walking for like a week, I believe a week or two, phase one, walking the routes and then turning around. And other offense players are playing defense. So you're playing corner, Lamar's potentially playing corner while somebody is walking, but you can't touch each other. Then you go there, then you do that, then you go into the film and you watch everybody walking the routes and the block and the blitz pickup and everything for like 2 weeks. It's literally your playbook less than 101 because you have to actually teach NFL football first. Then you get into your playbook. Then you do that. So I think if I was from Miami and I played an actual position, it'd be fucking very difficult to get me to go back to a town that maybe has gloom and doom and rain all the fucking time. And I think we are becoming a society more that it's like, yeah, I could see that being a little bit of a difficult challenge as well.
He probably doesn't want to have to get COVID from Jimmy's. So maybe
There's
it's
still a lot of
smart.
COVID.
Good point.
Oh, yeah, because he might be isolated, might be wearing masks.
Could be.
We don't know.
Also, it's not like he's getting like just boozed up and like.
He's golfing.
I mean,
Just
and
golfing.
he's putting work in.
Top golfing. He's top golfing. You know what I mean? He's top golfing. Yeah, but he is putting work in, I'd assume.
Like, and like you mentioned, like he's probably getting more out of that than what he would going back to Baltimore and just fucking playing grab ass, while you get ready. It's like he's got his regimen that he knows works. Like, I'm sure he's not fucking loafing down
I
there.
enjoy the thought, though, that there's somebody that is a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Yep.
Well, he's in our fucking quarterback.
So bad.
Doesn't like the team.
Give me some Jimmy's fucking crab cakes. We got to talk about this.
That's what Harbaugh said.
Remember the tweets?
Said ask Lamar.
No, that was about the deal.
No, this is about why he wasn't at OTAs too. He just said it the other day.
So Harbaugh's new de facto answer is ask Lamar.
Ask him.
Hey, how come you guys haven't signed Lamar Jackson to a long-term deal? Ask Lamar, dude.
That's me.
Hey, listen. Would he come into the office? Maybe we'd be able to do a deal. Would love to do that. It's his decision, and I think Harbaugh then defended Lamar. Right? He said, "We can talk about your contract with your employer too. You want to raise immediately if that's what you would like to get into, but since it's football, and now he's saying ask Lamar and why he's not at OTAs or
Yeah,
whatever."
his exact words were, "It's for him to talk about."
Okay, so, Harbaugh's like, I'm not speaking for Lamar. Lamar's Lamar. Let Lamar do his thing. And with that being said, we still plan on playing Lamar as much as Lamar can play this upcoming fall, even though he missed these first couple of days of OTAs. And we assume he's going to come back in great shape. Why? If he waits another year, plays great football, that number, might be $60 million a year, $55, $60 million a year?
Upwards. Rodgers got 50 now.
And if you're signing a 5-year deal or a 4-year deal, that's $50 million more than you'd be getting right now. But, at some point, I applaud his discipline. I applaud his ability to look at a piece of paper that probably says $250 million guaranteed or $200 million guaranteed. Whoever you are, that's a tough thing to look at and be like, let's hold off for another fucking maybe $60, $75 million.
Yeah.
Because in the grand scheme of things, just like we tried to tell Staley, $200 million is a lot more than like $0. But $200 million, not same as $300 million. So it's like being able to have that amount of confidence, faith, and, that takes some real courage to be like, nah, Let's go another one. Let's take this tractor another round. I think I can build this thing even bigger. Fucking makes me love the dude. Flacco did this in Baltimore in the same exact city.
Yeah.
Flacco went into his last year of his contract. They offered him something. I don't think it was top tier money, elite money. Then he goes and wins the Super Bowl, gets a $100 million deal after that.
Yeah.
Boom, bet on himself. So they've seen it in Baltimore. He also wasn't a guy that went to OTAs, I don't think. I believe Joe Flacco wasn't a guy that went to OTAs. So I'm impressed that the Baltimore media is potentially upset. That seems to be a little bit interesting. If that is happening, I don't know. I'm sorry I'm throwing swords in areas of things I do not know.
Well, in that thought process with the contract, like we just saw with Dak. Dak franchise tagged. He got his leg taken off, and then he basically was holding out until they would pay him the 160 or 70 that he accepted, and he got offered like the 130.
And we were saying, why is he?
Yeah,
and this is after he got hurt.
Yeah, it's like, how are you going to say no to that much money after you just got hurt? And I mean, Jerry still ended up giving him 160 million or something.